Chag Sameach, everyone. Happy Passover. Now we've come to the place in our Seder where we start telling the story, the Magid, the story of the Exodus. Now many of us know the story of Moses being a shepherd and discovering a bush that was on fire, but not necessarily being consumed. And the rabbis actually say that there is a specific significance to Moses noticing that the bush was on fire but was not being consumed. But I'd like to suggest another thing that may have caused Moses to be the central character in this story. The rabbis talk about another moment in Moses' life. They wonder, why did God choose Moses as opposed to other people? And so they wonder and think about the time in Moses' life when he was a shepherd. After he had left Egypt, fled Egypt, and before he returned to demand that Pharaoh free the Israelites. Well, the story goes that he was taking care of his flock, and he noticed one of the members of his flock, one of the sheep, making their way away from the flock. So he follows the sheep over hills, through a valley, and finally finds the sheep stopping at a body of water. And the sheep drinks a little bit of water so that to quench the sheep's thirst. And Moses, rather than being upset that the sheep had wandered away, realizes, wow, the sheep must have simply been thirsty. It's the next moment that the rabbis say in this imagined story that made God choose Moses, and that's this. Moses then, instead of going up to the sheep and herding it back to the flock, realizes that the sheep must have been tired from this journey. And so he takes the sheep, he lifts the sheep up onto his shoulders, and he carries the sheep all the way back to the herd. And that's this moment that the rabbis say, this kindness that Moses shows, a compassion for the flock that he leads, that caused him to be the leader of our Jewish people. Now, each of us are a leader in our community, and so I ask us, how are we a leader, and how are we compassionate in that leadership? Both today as we celebrate this holiday and this year. Wishing everyone a Chag Sameach, a happy Passover.